Today I'm going to show you how I made this sketchbook page. The idea for this page originally came from my Patreon mail club. I wanted to add something into the mail club that was interactive this month, and the theme is magic, so I thought, ooh, it would be really cool if I could do some kind of magic door. That's where the idea for this was born. It was definitely inspired by like Howl's Moving Castle and Witch Hat Atelier. So to start off with, I tried a couple of different designs with some little thumbnails. Because this is for my mail club, I had to make sure that the wheel spinning mechanism was something that was just paper so that it would actually be able to be mailed. I didn't want anything that would stick out like a brad. Once I had the design picked out and the mechanism settled, I went ahead and started sketching it in my sketchbook, and the one thing I had to make sure was that the door was high enough that it wouldn't show the pivot point for the wheel. But once I had that design finished, I cut out the door and I started working on the wheel. For this type of thing, you have to have your cover that has the door that opens, and then you have to have a piece of paper behind it, and then the wheel in between the two. And the wheel is going to attach to the piece of paper behind it. So I cut out a square that I measured was going to fit, and then I cut out a little niche so that I could actually spin the wheel. I was initially planning to cut the niche out on the front page too, but I kind of forgot about that part, and yeah. So once I was happy with the wheel and kind of had an idea of how it was going to work, I then went ahead and drew out the designs. So I knew that the designs were, because of the size of the door, going to cut into each other a little bit. So I had to do the black foreground for all of them so that it could overlap and it wouldn't have pieces of the other landscapes inside of each one. So once the design was done, it was time to get the wheel on its rotational axis. So for this part, I initially cut a hole in the wheel, which I didn't actually mean to do, so ignore that part. You don't actually want to do that. So basically, you want to cut a little piece of paper. Once you do that, you glue two of the little pieces to the wheel, and then the other two opposite pieces you're going to kind of roll into a ball and shove through a hole in the paper behind your design. Once you do that, you flatten them. You don't want to tape them to the back piece because it won't spin. So I lined it up and then I pressed the sketchbook to it, and voila, I had a little spinny wheel. Thanks for watching.